saw this thumbnail this week that got 140,000 views, which was an increase of 6,445% on what that channel normally gets. Now contrast that to a video I've had recently that only got 397 views on my 95,000 subscriber YouTube channel. It's clear that I need to figure out how to make thumbnails that get me more views, and I'm sure that you do too. And I realized recently when I saw a thumbnail like this that we can use thumbnails that get hundreds of thousands of views for small channels, reverse engineer them and use them for templates for our own channel. All you have to do if you wanted to use this thumbnail as a template, for example, is make sure you include a red arrow at the top to show that a transformation is happening in that video, which is going to create curiosity in the viewer. Make sure you include a well-known company logo in the corner of that thumbnail, which is going to widen the appeal your video has to an even broader audience. And what this thumbnail did is it alternated colors to emphasize the before and the after, the difference. So you can see she's got a yellow jumper on in the left, but a blue top on in the right. But then there's a blue background on the left and a yellow background on the right. So that change in color palette really emphasizes the change from before to after. And you'll see that I've been modeling my thumbnails on successful viral thumbnails that I've seen myself already on YouTube. And it's been going really well for me. I've been getting 1 out of 10s on the videos that I've been using this approach. So just like this opening thumbnail that I've shown how we can use it, this got 140,000 views on a channel that's only got 5,370 subscribers. I've gone away and I found 6 thumbnails today that have got views that far outnumber the amount of subscribers that channel has, so that we can have these thumbnails at our disposal to use as templates ourselves when we want to make videos in the future. And we're going to know that we're building thumbnails based on original templates that are already working extremely well on YouTube. So let me just get straight into it. Here's a second thumbnail that I found. This video got 108,000 views on a channel that only has 2,640 subscribers. So if we were going to use this template ourselves, we'd need to be making a video where we test out how well we can use a tool, how effective a tool in our niche is. And we need to test it out for a certain amount of days, like this YouTuber did it for 30 days. But if we're making a video along those lines, we can use a viral thumbnail template just like this one, and just like I use a template for my video in the past. I'd love to hear from you what you think about this thumbnail before I go in and show you the breakdown on how exactly we can use this and why this thumbnail is great. I personally think this is nice and clean, like that. Really powerful. It's really easy to see what the video is about. So I'd rate this probably out of 10, 8 out of 10. I'd love to hear your ratings, but let's jump into how we can use this thumbnail as a template ourselves. So first off, this thumbnail only uses minimal colors. 3 colors in total I count. We've got the beige for the picture of the guy. We've got blue for the icons and the chart behind him. And we've got green for that icon. So minimal colors to really highlight what's important. Next up, the YouTuber's face is included in this thumbnail because the video focuses on the YouTuber's achievement. So we need to see the YouTuber in this thumbnail. And next up, if we're going to replicate this ourselves, it's worth noting that the thumbnail includes relevant icons and numbers, relevant to what this video is talking about. It's talking about YouTube, so there's YouTube icons and graph icons behind them. And if we were talking about any other topic in our own niches, we'd include icons and numbers relevant to what we were talking about for our specific video. And finally, another thing that I think makes this thumbnail so powerful is they included a large monetary amount in this thumbnail. Now, humans are hardwired to be drawn towards money, and the larger amount of money, the better. So the YouTuber has really harnessed this part of human psychology and put a large monetary amount right there in the middle of his thumbnail to draw on that just natural attention that we give to money and to draw people in to clicking his video. So yeah, this thumbnail's great. It plays on psychology. The YouTuber has a unreadable expression, so we feel we're drawn to click into the video to see what the YouTuber's experience was, and it's just super clean. And like I'm a firm believer of minimalism, and cleanliness makes an image so much more powerful, and I believe that's exactly what's happening here. So I'm rating this thumbnail 8 out of 10. I'd love to hear your opinions on what you think of this thumbnail, and if it's a template you can see yourself using in the future. But this is the second thumbnail out of 6 we're going to run through today that's got hundreds of thousands of views for channels with only thousands of subscribers. So really powerful template we can copy ourselves. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the thumbnail uses white text on black background, which creates super punchiness and high contrast, which really makes that text pop out on the white background. So something else to note there, if we're going to put text in our thumbnails, try and think of what the biggest contrasting colours we can use are to really make that text pop out and not get lost in everything else that's going on. Just a quick note before I get onto the other 4 viral thumbnail templates that we're going to look at today. I'm working hard to get as good at making viral clickable thumbnails as I can. I want to get this channel getting thousands of views again in the first 24 hours like it used to. So what I'm doing is when I'm seeing high performing viral thumbnails that are getting thousands of views for channels with, hundreds of thousands of views for channels with only thousands of subscribers, I'm saving them into this document, and I'm getting a bigger and bigger backlog of just viral thumbnail templates that I can quickly use when I have a new video idea, and I know that I'm building that thumbnail on what is being successful on YouTube in the past, so I'm building on success. If you want to access this document of viral thumbnails that I'm building myself, there's a link in the description to this video. Just go in there, put your details in, and you can get sent this library of viral thumbnails I'm collecting myself for my own use and my clients' use, and you can use them yourself on your own thumbnails in the future. Cool, we're going to move on now, but if you're here, say hi. I'd love to have some people chatting during this live. Let me know where you're all at and how your thumbnails are doing, what click-through rate do you normally see on your thumbnails. I'd love to hear from you. Cool, so the next video, we're going to look at the next viral thumbnail. Got a 1.1 million views for this YouTuber that only had 12,800 subscribers. Imagine getting that many more views for your channel that's that size. Like, I saw this thumbnail and I had to save it in my database and understand why it was so powerful. So through studying this thumbnail, you'd really use this thumbnail yourself on your own channel. If you've tried out like a product and you want to make a video explaining how good that product is. So you're making a review video really. And this thumbnail only really works if you're trying out a famous person's product, like a popular figure's, because it only works if you include that popular figure in your thumbnail. That's part of the template. So that's the use case that you'd use this thumbnail on. Before we get in and have a little breakdown to the thumbnail, what's your opinion on this thumbnail? Do you think it's a good thumbnail? Thumbs up? Do you think it's bad? Could you see yourself using it before? I want this to be a two-way live stream, so let me know what your thoughts are on this thumbnail yourself. But looking into how we can use this thumbnail ourselves and what makes this thumbnail so powerful. As before, and you're going to see this as a recurring theme, I've seen this as a pattern across multiple viral thumbnails. It's got a really minimal, simple color scheme. We've got the 2 shades, black and white, which are in every thumbnail normally. But then if you look at the colors that are included in the thumbnail, you're only really seeing 3 colors. Beige, what else have we got in there? Green, and a little bit of yellow on that snow globe at the front. That globe at the front. But that's something I'm seeing in the majority of viral thumbnails. They only use a limited color palette, and I think this just falls under the reasoning of less is more. Less colors actually creates a more powerful thumbnail, and that's something I'm seeing over and over again in popular viral thumbnails. Next up, this thumbnail includes the face of the popular figure that the video is about. And like I said, you only use this thumbnail if you are reviewing a product that's been released by a celebrity or released by a popular figure, because you need to be able to include that popular figure in your thumbnail if you're using this template to try and recreate the virality that the original YouTuber got. So include the popular figure on the left of the thumbnail. Next up, as before with the previous thumbnail we looked at, this thumbnail makes sure to include relevant icons and numbers in the thumbnail. So the video is about making money with Shopify and e-commerce. That's what the video goes on to talk about. And monetary figures and the logo of the biggest e-commerce platform, Shopify, is included in this thumbnail because that's exactly what the video is about. So you need to ground it in the topic you're talking about, and that you can do that by including relevant icons and numbers, which you'll see in multiple thumbnails that we explore today. And finally, if you want to recreate this template, I noticed that the YouTuber has like a reflective but also unreadable expression. Like we can see that the YouTuber is deep in thought and like pondering over their experience, but they're not really giving away anything into how good the product was. You feel drawn in, like you need to understand how good the product was, so you get drawn in to click on this thumbnail to understand more about the product. So if you're looking to replicate this viral thumbnail template yourself, try not to give anything too much away in your expression when you're taking your picture. That's my takeaway. Just try and keep it neutral and draw people in to find the answer in your video. Great. So as before, guys, let me know what you think to this thumbnail. Rate it out of 10. I'm going to give this one a 7 because it's a little bit cluttered, more cluttered than I normally like with a thumbnail, but it's still a great template, so I'd love to hear your thoughts too. Great. Moving on to the next viral thumbnail that I found. This video got 612,000 views, which is mind-blowing when you consider that it came from a YouTube channel with only 5,000 subscribers. So unreal growth for this channel. It was caused by this YouTube video. So, converting VHS to 4K using AI. If we're going to make a thumbnail like this ourselves, we really need to find a technology that promises to allow us to do like an incredible conversion. The original video was converting VHS videos into 4K videos. So something in your niche where there's like a tool or technology that allows you to take something and improve it drastically. That's the perfect video for this thumbnail template. I'd love to hear your thoughts before we get into the breakdown of this thumbnail about why it was so powerful and why it got so many clicks. Maybe rate it out of 10, what you think about this thumbnail. I think this is a 7 out of 10. The reason I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 is I don't really like that blue background. It looks a bit dated, like a style that you'd see in the 1990s. But maybe that was intentional because VHS is such an old format that they wanted to use a design style that mimics that format. Who knows? But I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 because I don't really like the style of it because it looks a bit dated. But it clearly worked by getting 600,000 views for a 5,000 subscriber YouTube channel, so I can't criticize it too much. Let me know what you think to this thumbnail out of 10, and let's move on to what we found about this thumbnail, what we can learn. So first off, arrow at the top showing that a transformation happens in the video. This is something I'm seeing again and again and again. These thumbnails that explore like conversions, whether conversion is possible or transformation, they always have an arched arrow at the top of them. And I think that's just like the universal sign or symbol that's been created on YouTube to let the viewer know, the potential viewer know that a transformation is going to happen in this video. And when the viewer knows that instantly, the viewer wants to know how that transformation ended up. Was it a good transformation or a bad transformation? So by including an arrow at the top of your thumbnail, if you ever have a before and after style video, you immediately let the browser know what the video is about, and you create curiosity in the viewer because they want to see the end result of that transformation. Next up, the YouTuber decided to add a written out question on their thumbnail. And what I realized this did was it creates even more curiosity in the person that's browsing through YouTube, just scrolling through their home feed. They see this thumbnail and they see a question in the thumbnail, and they think, oh, I wonder if that is even possible. Like, oh, yeah, I wonder. So it creates more curiosity, which creates more of an urge for that person to click in the video to watch the video. And this is the first time I've seen this done in all of the months I've been studying viral thumbnails. I've never seen a viral thumbnail ask a question like this in it. So I think it's a really interesting thing to highlight that we need to acknowledge, and it's a powerful tool that I believe we can use ourselves in our own thumbnails. I see someone in the chat. I'm going to acknowledge you and say hi in a second, but just let me get to the end of breaking down this thumbnail, then I'll have a look at the chat and say hi. But finally, what else did this thumbnail have? It had a before and after image shown. So that a person scrolling through YouTube that sees this thumbnail, they see the arrow showing there's transformation, they see the question, is it even possible, which creates even more curiosity, and they see the before and after, which just looks so unbelievable and impossible. They're drawn in even more to click on this thumbnail because they're thinking there's no way something was taken from that blurry image on the left to that amazing image on the right. Like, surely not. And they have to click into the video to see if that's possible. So those are the three takeaways that I want that I took away from this thumbnail that I'm going to be using myself if I use this template that I think is important to include in this thumbnail. I've also now noticed as well the 4K logo on the right hand side image. 4K logo is a really well-known logo that you see on different cassettes, VHSs, DVD, 4K DVDs. So by including that logo too, and I didn't actually make a point about this, but including that logo, you're also giving the video a broader appeal because people recognize that 4K logo, and that recognition makes people more likely to click into a video if it's got something familiar on that thumbnail that they recognize. So great thumbnail. Let's have a quick look at the chat and say hi to people. So B2 is saying, hi, love from India. Pleased to react to my chat. Here's the reaction. Am I listening? I am listening. Good to have you here watching. If you have any viral thumbnails that you've seen yourself that you think are worth reviewing in this live stream, let me know in the chat and I'll try and open them up and have a look at those too. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate the interaction. If there's anyone else watching and you want to say hi or you want to comment on any of the thumbnails that you watched in this live stream, make sure to leave your comments in the chat. And I just want to remind you that every week I'm saving viral thumbnails that I'm seeing that get way more views, hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views for channels with only a few thousand subscribers. I'm saving any viral thumbnail templates that I find into a master document. If you want to get that document yourself, there's a link to that document below in the description, and you can use these thumbnails as templates yourself when you're making thumbnails in the future. It's going to save you a ton of time, and you know that you're making thumbnails built on what is already working on YouTube rather than just starting from scratch and just hoping that your thumbnail is going to resonate with viewers. So what I'm doing now when I'm making my new thumbnails for myself and I'm making thumbnails for my clients, and if you want to grab that document and start doing that yourself, feel free, the link is in the description. Right, next thumbnail. This video got 4.4 million views. It's an astonishing amount of views. I've had a first video past 1 million views this week, but 4 million views is next level. And this is from a channel with 230,000 subscribers. So we're getting to slightly bigger YouTube channels now. But every video that I look at in this live stream has far more views from that video than they do subscribers. So we know that these videos are growing the YouTube channel and they've gone viral because they're appealing to more than just that YouTube channel's target audience. So let's break this thumbnail down. Here's what I found this thumbnail was doing that I believe is going to be the recipe for recreating this thumbnail ourselves in this style. First off, only 3 main areas of focus in this thumbnail. Person over here, and then the writing down below. Let's have a look. And by only having 3 points of focus in the thumbnail, we're making it easy for someone scrolling through YouTube to know where to look. It makes it more powerful. The scroller just goes, okay, there. And by seeing those 3 things, the viewer really has an understanding of what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about net mobility and an exercise. And that's clear because all you need to see are those 3 points of focus and you understand what the video is about. So less is more, I found, with most of these viral thumbnails. This thumbnail chose to only use 3 points of focus. I don't really see any successful thumbnails going over using just 3 points of focus. So that's something to know. If you're going to try and reproduce this yourself, don't overwhelm the viewer with too much to look at. Cool. This thumbnail also used still images of an activity being completed. And these still images, they're kind of like a little preview, like a glimpse into the video. You can kind of see the movements that the YouTuber is going to be doing into the video, and you want to click, it makes you want to click into the video to get a full understanding of what they're doing. Like what on earth are they doing in the thumbnail, and how is that beneficial? So showing snapshots of the movements, but not the full context, like giving a full explanation of what's happening, creates curiosity, I believe, that pulls people in to watching this video. So that's something to include yourself if you're going to use this template, stills of the activity that's going to be in the video. Next up, the benefit, the value that the viewer is going to get from watching this video has been written in the thumbnail. Neck mobility. That's all someone scrolling through YouTube needs to read. They see neck mobility written on the thumbnail, they see the guy doing some movements, and you instantly know that this video is about movements that are going to give you neck mobility. And for anyone who wants to have like a greater level of neck mobility, by seeing that value written in big letters there on the thumbnail, they're instantly going to click into this video and watch it, aren't they? Because the thumbnail has told them instantly that they're going to get exactly what they want from watching this video. There's no confusion there. It's deliberate. Here's the value of the video. So that's something I've been seeing more and more as I study viral thumbnails every week, is lots of them have the value, so the benefit that the video offers, they have it written in the thumbnail. So something worth noting. We've got a few people watching now. If there's anyone else that wants to comment on this thumbnail, like I like these live streams to be back and forwards, like a chat between us all watching. So let me know what you think to this thumbnail in the chat if you're watching, if you think it's a powerful thumbnail or not. I personally, this is one of my favorites I've seen. I just like how minimal it is, just black, yellow and beige colors, 3 colors. 1, 2, 3 things to look up. Guy here, text. I think this is a great thumbnail. I think this is probably a 9 out of 10 for me, because it's just so minimal, simple, but also so self-explanatory of this video is going to have neck mobility exercises inside it. I think this is a great thumbnail. So let me know out of 10, if you're watching this, what you would rate this thumbnail yourself. But for me, this is a 9 out of 10. Probably the most powerful thumbnail that we're going to see in this whole live stream today. Great, let's move on to the next viral thumbnail. I found this video got 5.8 million views, which is just like a brain melting amount of views to me. And that was for a channel of 400,000 subscribers. So the amount of views far dwarf the subscriber count of this channel. This video is growing this channel because it's not appealing to just its core audience, its core subscriber base. It's having a much broader appeal than the amount of subscribers to this channel. So really powerful thumbnail that even though the channel has a high sub count, it's growing this channel to a high degree. If you want to use this thumbnail yourself, the video was called Accountant Explains 9 Muddy Habits Keeping You Poor. So to use this template yourself, make a video where you're explaining something, and hopefully you have a position of authority around the thing you're explaining. Hopefully you're a doctor, a lawyer, a professional gamer, an experienced YouTuber, and make a video where you explain something to your audience that's holding them back. That's how you can use this sort of template yourself. What makes this template so great? Well, when I tried to break it down, here are the things I found about this thumbnail that stood out to me that made it really strong. It only uses 2 points of focus. You'll remember on the last thumbnail we had, we had 3 points of focus, and I said less is more. Like a lot of these viral thumbnails just use minimalism to make them even more powerful. Well, this thumbnail drops it down to 2 points of focus. We've got the person and the text. That's all someone browsing through YouTube has to look at. And they just look at those two things, read the text, and they instantly know what the video is about. So something I keep seeing again and again and again with viral thumbnails is the quicker someone browsing through YouTube can digest the information that's shown to them in the thumbnail and get an understanding of what the video is about, the more likely they are to click it and the more likely that thumbnail is to go viral. And that's what's happening here. The viewer's only faced with two things to look at before they know what the video is about, and they can make that quick decision of whether to look at it, watch it or not. So less is more, 2 points of focus. I think it's working really well for this thumbnail. Next up, the YouTuber's given a thumbs down, which immediately shows us that in this video we're going to be seeing something that she disapproves of. We're going to be looking at some negative things. And from what I've read in psychology, humans are scared creatures. We don't want bad things to happen to us. So by seeing that she disapproves of something and there's a negative in this video, we want to watch it so that we know what the negatives are for us to avoid ourselves. So really powerful symbolism there, the thumbs down, and it just shows us straight away that there's negatives in this video for us to avoid. So if you're going to use this template yourself to create a hopefully viral video yourself, make sure to get the thumbs down in there in the thumbnail. And next up, I need to move myself out of the way for this one. Which one is it here? Even though the YouTubers used words in this thumbnail, they've only used a few words. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9 habits keeping you poor. And by using just a few words, the YouTuber has been able to make that text much bigger because, yeah, there's less characters in the text. And by making the text bigger, you're making it easier to read for the person who's browsing through YouTube. So few words equals bigger text equals easier to understand by the viewer, which means that they can make the decision to click into your thumbnail and watch your video even quicker. And as I'm studying viral thumbnails week and week and week, I'm getting more evidence to back up a theory of how quickly the person browsing YouTube can understand what your video is about through your thumbnail, the more likely they are to click it. And by having much bigger text, like in this thumbnail, someone scrolling for YouTube can understand straight away what this video is about because they've only had to read 5 words, and those 5 words are huge, and they can make the decision to click into this video so much quicker. So that's something to look out for. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this thumbnail before we move on. I think it's a great thumbnail, and the fact that it got 5.8 million views backs up my theory. I'd give this an 8 out of 10 personally. Other people here in the chat, let me know in the comments what you think of this thumbnail. Right out of 10. What you think. I'm an 8. Are you higher than me, lower than me? I'd love to hear your thoughts below in the comments. Alright, moving on. I want to remind you that every week I'm studying viral thumbnails like this myself, finding thumbnails that got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views for tiny channels of hundreds or just a few thousand subscribers, where clearly the thumbnail made that video go viral. And I'm saving those thumbnails in a document, like a database of just viral thumbnails that I can call back on myself whenever I'm making a new video. I can find a template for my thumbnail from viral thumbnails of the past and model my new thumbnail on that old successful viral thumbnail. And I'm giving this complete library of viral thumbnails away for free. And if you want it yourself, just click the link below in the description, fill your email address in, and you'll get sent the whole backlog of viral thumbnails that I've been saving up over the last few months. You get sent that yourself, and you can use those viral thumbnails yourself for templates to make your thumbnails in the past even quicker, and you'll know that you're building those thumbnails on a successful model that's worked for other small YouTubers in the past. So that's available for you to grab for free. Click on the link in the description to get all of the viral thumbnails you've seen in this live stream, and every viral thumbnail that I have collected in the past is in that document. If you have any other viral video thumbnails that you wanted me to review. I've gone over 6 in this live stream so far. Please leave a link to the video in the comments to this live stream, because I just love finding new viral videos, viral thumbnails that have got hundreds of thousands of views for this tiny channel, so that I can break those thumbnails down, reverse engineer their success, and share my finds with you. So whenever you're watching this, share any viral videos that you've seen yourself in the comments. That's the end of this live stream. I do these viral thumbnail live streams once a month, so if you've missed today's one, or maybe watching this back in replay, you can catch me this time next month. Really appreciate you watching. Like I said, I've been getting 1 out of 10s from modeling the viral thumbnails that I've been finding myself on my channel, so hopefully you decide to start doing that too, and just using what's already working for other people yourself. I think that's the best way to succeed on YouTube. Appreciate you tuning in as always. Peace out. Bye bye.